Hello students, welcome you all for physics session 8. Dear students, in last class we studied about electric field at a point due to dipole on its axis. That is nothing but axial line derivation. On its axis derivation called as axial line derivation also. Okay, now move on to today's session will go for the electric field for the different case, that is on equatorial line. Okay, electric field at a point due to dipole on its equatorial line. Move on to, for that we require electric dipole, so we'll take that plus q charge and minus q charge. So I have drawn the electric dipole. This is what the axial line, and this is what our center O. As you know, these two charges are separated by a small distance 2a. That is nothing but the plus q charge is having a distance from center is a, and minus q charge, it has a distance from center O is a. So a plus a results to 2a. So now what we are discussing here, we are discussing electric field at a point due to dipole on its equatorial line. First of all, I want to clear you the meaning of the equatorial line. As in the last class we discussed about the axial line, no, the line joining the charges. So that's what our axial line. Similarly, we have the equatorial line. It is a point or it's a line which makes the separation of an electric dipole in equal parts. Hence the name is equatorial line. Nothing but I will consider the point R on the equatorial line. If I join the point R and O, that results as the equatorial line. This is what our equatorial line. Okay, now so let R is a point is at a distance small r from center O. Okay, let us take it as. Now as you know, the distance of a plus q charge from center O is a, and this is a distance r. Now at this condition, we have taken an electric dipole of electric dipole moment. It has an electric dipole moment from negative charge to positive charge. This is the direction of electric dipole moment. As you know, P bar equal to 2aq into P cap. So what do you mean by P cap? P cap is a unit vector along the dipole axis from minus q charge to plus q charge. Okay, now so what we are requiring here, we are requiring the amount of electric field of a plus q charge and the amount of electric field at or from minus q charge at a point R on the equatorial line, or else we may say it as a plane also. Okay, it may be a plane also, plane. Okay, now move on to, so we require the distance of plus q charge from R and the distance of minus q charge from R. This distance we require. For our reference sake, we will call it as A and this one as B. So this is point A, center O, R. Okay, now we are in a requirement of this direction, so let us draw it. As I said, now we know this distance, we know this one, and but we didn't know this distance. Similarly, here also the same case exists. Okay, now so here we are observing the triangle APO, right angle triangle APO, or else RR, ARO. This is what a right angle triangle, and using a Pythagoras relation we can get this distance, the longer side. Okay, now what is Pythagoras relation says as, that is given by AR square equals to AR square, sorry, that is we require AR na, that is AO square plus OR square, right? What do you mean by AO square? That is A square, small a square. What do you mean by OR square? That is small r square. So AR square is equal to A square plus R square. That results you the distance R square plus A square, right? Are you getting? AR square is there, but we require AR. So AR equals to square root of A square plus R square. Similarly, one more right angle triangle we have, that is BRO. Here also It is a right angle triangle. This is A, this is R. So shall I write directly R square plus A square, this distance, right? So in this way we have got the distance. Now move on to, so we require electric field at a point R due to plus Q charge. And first of all, here only I want to clear the most important term in this derivation. See dear students, plus Q charge is having the electric field E1, let us call it as E1, and minus Q charge is having a electric field E2, but they are of opposite nature, right? Hence the plus Q charge electric field direction moves in this direction. I will extend the equatorial line for our understanding sake. Okay, now so this is what our electric field of a first charge, that is E1 moves in this direction because electric field moves away from plus Q charge. As you know, the minus Q charge electric field moves towards minus Q charge. So this is what the direction of electric field of minus Q charge, right? But we didn't know the total electric field here. What we know? We know the electric field due to plus Q charge. I will write the magnitude 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by R square plus A square, because distance will take square na. So square root will goes and R square plus A square remain. This is along AR. And what is this? Simple term I am writing. Whatever the discussions I have taken last class, I am just repeating those. Minus Q charge 1 divided by 4 epsilon naught. I am taking the magnitude Q divided by R square plus A square. So these are the electric field of an individual charges. Okay, but we require electric field of a dipole, isn't it? So for that we require principle of superposition, E1 plus E2 says us, right? This is what the term we have to use. But the thing is, here it is moving in this way direction, E1, E2 is moving here, but we didn't know the total electric field direction. So on that fact, how one can calculate the total electric field at this such condition? With the help of vector, we'll easily solve it. What do we know? We know the law of vector addition, and because of that, electric field will resolve in two components here. Okay, na? That is electric field along the dipole axis. We have to consider the components. Okay, so electric field will move in a parallel segment to the dipole axis and in a perpendicular segment also. Whatever the line I'm showing here, this is what the perpendicular components. And how one can resolve the parallel component? That is quite easy job for us. Why? Because we know already the law of vector additions. See here. Here we know one side, here we know the second side, and we able to draw the two imaginary sides, and there we can get the diagonal part, and through that diagonal part we can calculate the resultant. Law of vector additions we can apply here, right? I will do that. I'll draw the imaginary lines over here, and I'll join the diagonal straight way. We have to draw like that only. Okay, this is what our diagonal, and the resultant electric field will move in this direction. This is happening because we have the different directions over here, and as you know, the direction of electric dipole moment is opposite to the direction of electric field. Okay, na? Because of that, this thing happening here, and along the diagonal we'll have the resultant electric field. That is what our electric field. Now, so here we have the parallel components and we have the perpendicular component. Let us resolve that. E plus Q sin theta will move in this direction, and E minus Q sin theta will move in this direction, means opposite direction. But what about this thing, parallel components? Here the different case exists. What they do is, the parallel components moves in the same direction because of this electric field direction criteria. And this is what the significance of electric field. E plus Q cos theta, E minus Q cos theta. both the cases will move in the same direction with the same magnitude. But what about the perpendicular components? They are of same magnitude. They are of same magnitude, but they move in opposite direction, and hence they cancels each other. And what about the parallel components? They are of same magnitude. They move in the same direction, hence they add up. So first of all, we will write the components. Well, we will write the formula, that is E equals to, we will write the magnitude E plus Q cos theta have to take, and along with the dipole moment, plus E minus Q cos theta and minus P cap. Here I have taken the minus P. We will consider the minus P. Dipole moment is negative. Electric field is opposite to dipole moment, and hence we will note it with the help of negative sign. So what is our job now? We have to take the magnitude of electric field due to plus Q charge and minus Q charge, and we have to take the cos theta. We have to apply the value of cos theta, and then we have to apply the dipole moment, and we have to make a neat simplification, and we'll have the result. That's it. We'll do that. Okay. So on that fact, I may take E plus Q plus E minus Q aside, and I will take cos theta minus P cap as a common term, right? So if I write that, I'll take outside minus sign, 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square plus A square. This is the magnitude of electric field of a plus Q charge, and plus 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by R square plus A square. This is magnitude of electric field of minus Q charge into cos theta into dipole moment P cap. Well, they are of same magnitude, so directly I may write here 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught 2Q divided by R square plus A square cos theta into P cap. That's it. Okay, now simple job for us. Now what I did now, right now I have taken the magnitude of electric fields, and now our job is left is substituting the cos theta value and the electric dipole moment. We'll manage in this single sheet only to complete the whole derivation. Move on to, on considering the triangle ARO, we may able to write the cos theta. Okay, just write the cos theta definition through the help of the trigonometry. Yes, do that. On knowing the triangle ARO, apply the value of cos theta, so that results you AO dividing by AR, right? AO is having a value of A, AR is having a value of square root of R square plus A square. A simple derivation, simple steps. Therefore, because already you know the electric dipole moment, therefore E bar equals to, we'll substitute the values, that's it, minus 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. This minus sign comes because direction opposite to the electric field and to the electric dipole moment. Minus 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught 2Q P cap dividing by R square plus A square into A dividing by square root of R square plus A square. Done. Move on to, on simplifying it, we will get 2AQ P cap dividing by R square plus A square whole raised to 3 by 2, a raised to m into a raised to n, a raised to m plus n, r square plus a square raised to 1 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ r square plus a square whole raised to 1 by 2 ಅಂತ ಬರಿಬೋದು. ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ರೂಟ್ ಟರ್ಮನ್ನು whole raised to 1 by 2 ಅಂತಾನೂ ಬರಿಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1 ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ whole raised to 1 by 2 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಯು 3 by 2. ಸೊ e is equal to minus of 1 dividing by 4 pi epsilon naught. E bar will take 4 pi epsilon naught p bar dividing by r square plus a square whole raised to 3 by 2 because 2aq into p cap ಅಂತಂದರೆ p bar. ಓಕೆನಾ? ನಾ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಫಾರ್ ಆರ್ ಈಸ್ ಮಚ್ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ಎ. ಈ ಆರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟನ್ಸು ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನ್ ಇಕ್ವೋಟ್ರಲ್ ಲೈನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಏನು ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಈ ಆರ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಪಾಯಿಂಟು ಇನ್ನೂ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋದರೆ, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ದೂರದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರೆ ವಿತ್ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಎ, ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ನೆಗ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್. 1 minus 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught p bar divided by r r square whole raised to 3 by 2. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಎ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ನೆಗ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನೆಗ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಆರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ, ಆರ್ raised to 3 by 2 ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಯು minus 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught p divided by r cube. This is what the value. This is the electric field due to dipole on its equatorial line. Thank you.